morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Monday. Yeah, you know what? It's like, you got to be retrained. You know, we were off on Friday for 4th of July, and, you know, it's here, right? The furnace is on here in the Valley of the Sun. Everybody either going out of town, thinking about going out of town, waiting to go out of town. I'm on the wait list. I'll be gone the week of the 20th, and I can't wait. Like that's all I can think about. You know, my wife and I spent the weekend. You know, low profile this 4th of July, and it's just hot. You know, let's call it what it is. But hey, you know, 8 months out of the year, not a bad place to be. But right now, everybody either, right, out of town. A lot of people wishing they could go out of town. I don't blame you. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The show must go on. There's a ton of things to talk about. You know, we had the passing of the big, beautiful bill. We're going to see the debt ceiling, the debt ceiling up $5 trillion. But we're going to see the U.S. debt skyrocket here over the next 30 to 60 days, as they already over 37. It's not done. We'll be somewhere really close to 38 trillion. But tariffs are back again this week. We have the BRICS meeting going on. You know, we talked about BRICS last week. Excuse me. And I was surprised because I thought, you know, Mexico kind of being the centerpiece of hopefully having the next members of BRICS this morning. Donald Trump finally responded saying anybody that wants to associate themselves with the BRICS, we may slap another 10% tariff on them, saying that if they align with the anti-American BRICS policy. So we'll see if that is a deterrent or not. The BRICS meeting will wrap up. It's either tomorrow or Wednesday. But this morning, threatening an additional 10% tariff on countries that orient themselves along with the anti-American policies of BRICS. He did not elaborate exactly what those policies were, but outside of that, the 9th of July, so Wednesday, the president has been sending letters out. We don't have very many trade deals, something like, 100 and some countries, that if there's no progress made, then on August 1st, the tariffs, I guess the big tariffs go back into effect, whatever was in April. It's hard because I'm like, okay, well, what was in April? I'm like, I don't know. It seemed like it changed several different times, but that is another thing that Wall Street's looking at, and its range, according to the president, anywhere from 60 to 70% to 10 to 20%. Letters were going out. The first 12 letters have gone out. Bloomberg is saying that, as an example, Europe, that the union is willing to accept the 10% tariff if exemptions for areas such as auto, steel, and aluminum are provided. Now, those are not provided. Japan doesn't look like they have been wanting to play ball, so we'll have to see what happens here come Wednesday. I don't think that we're going to see anyone's tariffs go up on Wednesday, but the president letting it be known, hey, if you don't essentially agree to what we want, more tariffs coming on August the 1st. So again, when we talk about the Fed wanting to cut rates, can they? I don't know. We got to wait for the stimulus from the big, beautiful bill. Then we've got to wait to see, okay, where is the debt exactly? And now, are we going to see bigger tariffs starting August 1st? And just based on the movement, and I don't know. You know, I mean, as you guys know, he could change his mind tomorrow. But what do we have, like 1 or 2 trade deals? So yeah, obviously we're not going to get 100-some trade deals done in 3 weeks. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see movement. We will this week get some central bank decisions, nothing huge. We will get CPI out of China. We will get the Fed minutes this week on Wednesday. I think all eyes will be on jobless claims on Thursday. And then on Friday, we are going to get the June federal budget balance. So it'll be interesting to see what that looks like as well. Patriot Radio News Hour will be back after the break. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason here on this Monday. Right now, the Dow down just under 300 points. The S&P down 37. The NASDAQ down 140. All eyes on the 10-year note, 438. So right back. So whatever we were gaining with the hopes of a Fed rate cut seemed to be lost with the big, beautiful bill passing and then the reemergence here of more tariffs. Everyone kind of knew last week about these letters and all of that stuff. This morning, taking aim at BRICS. The BRICS issued a statement over the weekend, you know, more or less saying to countries around the world, hey, deal with us. We won't do what America's doing, and you know we won't do the bullying. I don't think the president liked that very much. Crude oil is higher today, 67.5. Gold is down, well off the lows, but down anyway, down 15, 33, just below 33.20. Silver, same thing, way off the lows, but 36.55, down about 30 cents. Listen, continue to add and protect. And I know, listen, I get it. I think they're going for broke here. Right? The president made some very interesting comments over the weekend, and you know, when no one's paying attention, right? Me included, right? We're all thinking about going on vacation, you know, just 4th of July, right? Everyone's preoccupied. Said, hey, maybe there's a rough patch, but it'll be fine. But he announced essentially that he's done cutting anything. Looks like they've decided that they're going for broke and trying to pump the economy into a boom or grow our way out of debt. The president wants everything now. And then he said if there's inflation, the Fed could always hike. Interesting, because he's been hounding the Fed for rate cuts. If we couldn't get the 30-year note to hold above 5% with all this crap going on, then why can't the stock market trade at 30 times earnings? See, guys? This is what you have to believe. 30 times earnings it's outrageous. But the one thing that I think is pretty clear, the bigger the debt, the bigger the spending, the bigger the bubble. So he's not wrong. He's right. I mean, here's the problem. We're already at 30 times earnings. I mean, we're here. Is this going to work? According to Bank of America, says that Trump can't cut spending, can't cut defense, can't cut debt, go big with tariffs. So the only way they can pay for the big, beautiful bill is one big, beautiful bubble. It's that simple. That's what's coming. So ready for this? You got to change with what is known. I think we're going to see more. The stock market rally may not be over because of stimulus. I think it's all going to depend. Does the Fed really cut rates now? I don't think they do. Especially if more tariffs are coming, and obviously we know more stimulus is coming with the big beautiful bill. We'll see. But I'm going to say that it will rally from here. How big will depend on whether they can cut rates. And I'm not talking about 25 basis points or 50 basis points. I'm talking like cutting rates in half. I don't see it. Bank of America, I don't think, sees it either. And when we talk about what does this create, bubbles. This is what it does. Right? And what are they trying to do? Spending money we don't have in hopes that we can grow what they say grow out of. What does grow out of it mean? So let's understand what they're trying to do. Okay? They're trying to get U.S. GDP to grow faster than the debt, right? That is what the hope is when it comes to the GDP. Now, we know the first quarter GDP shrank, and I don't expect that to necessarily continue in the future. I think that the second quarter will probably get at least some GDP data that's at least positive, but that's the goal, right? If you got a $27 trillion GDP, the last thing you want is to have the yearly deficit to be 7, 8, 9, 10%. See, who are they? The bankers have decided that if you can have 3% debt to GDP, that's okay. So to give you an idea of exactly what they're talking about is if the federal deficit with a $27 trillion GDP was about $800 billion, that would be okay. Okay. So think about where we are from that. What, triple that? Right? We're 2.4 to 2.7, right? We're somewhere between 8 to 10% of GDP. So 3 times plus what they say is sustainable. And so what they're hoping for is they know that the debt is going to grow by doing all of this spending. But you're talking about an economy that would have to grow, gosh, I don't even know, $4 trillion a year? I mean, that's just not realistic. I wish it would. The only way you get anywhere close to that, listen, think about 3% GDP growth, which is a big number for the United States, right? That's like really growing. Anything over 3%, it's like, whoa, and it's so hot, right on. That's $800 billion. So let's just say he can go from 27 to 28 trillion. That would put GDP growth above that number, right? I mean, I don't know, could we get 4%? Doubtful. But if we did, that would be barely over $1 trillion. That would be the number. If we could get 4%. I have been doing this for 20 some odd years, and you never see 4% ever. I mean, maybe when you like COVID, when they shut everything down, reopened it up, right? You may have had a quarter that had a big number on it, but you don't see 4% growth. It doesn't happen. And that 4% growth, that's adding like $1 trillion to GDP. The problem is how much debt are we going to accrue to get the $1 trillion? Okay, well, first of all, we're probably not going to get the $1 trillion. That's problem number one, right? Right? Let's just say, God, if we got 3 would be huge. Averaging 3% GDP growth for the year it's hard, especially in an economy as developed as ours is. How in the world are we going to grow that fast? There's only one way. I'm just going to be honest with you. There's only one way. Everything's got to cost more. Period. And a lot more. Which means the Federal Reserve really can't cut rates. So Donald Trump over the weekend essentially said, screw it. Here's what I want. Cut the rates now. Yeah, and if we get inflation, we can raise rates next year, right? Right. I mean, right. That's his answer.
I heard Mike Johnson say, we passed the big, beautiful bill. Now we We got 2 more of these we're going to get done before next year. 2 more.
Well, they got to get the budget done.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I mean, we've gone this whole year without one. I mean, so that's at least one more, right? And then obviously Speaker Johnson is talking about, hey, the big beautiful bill isn't enough, right?
Nope.
We already know that's not enough. We're going to have to do some more.
2 more. 2 more. We're going to do 2 more.
We're going to have to do some more to get this growth. And I'm going to say this right now. You actually heard some truth from the president and from Speaker Johnson in both of those statements. They're telling you the truth. The big, beautiful bill, by itself, that's not enough. It's not. I'm just telling you, it's not.
Biggest bill ever passed.
Not enough.
Biggest bill ever passed. That was a bragging point for those that liked it. This is the biggest thing ever passed.
Listen, let me go through this again. Here's what they're saying. Can't cut spending. Can't cut defense. Can't cut the debt. Go big with tariffs. Only way you can pay for one big, beautiful bill is one big, beautiful bubble. Go 4,000, 5,000, 10,000. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason, it's summertime, summer madness in effect for everybody here, as it just seems like lunacy has entered the arena. And again, I get it. I mean, we went this far, and it's kind of too late, right? Kind of too late. When you actually talk to anybody, they're like, yeah, no one's paying this debt back. So what is the point in all of this?
Did you see what the repo market did last week?
Yeah.
Had a little blip there, didn't it?
Little whoopsie.
11 billion.
Yeah. Banks had to borrow $11 billion from the Fed. Now, think about this. So here's what's happening. The Treasury is buying $10 billion of debt every month. Last week, the banks ran out of money.
Yep.
And they had to borrow $11 billion from the Fed to buy the bond market, to keep. Now, remember, last week, what happened? Well, they tried to get yields to go down, didn't they? They did. Right? Remember, the 10-year note was what? Almost like 4.2, 4.24, 4.25. Nobody wanted it. The foreigners aren't showing up. This announcement from BRICS today, I don't know that that's going to help. And the banks told the Fed, hey, either give us some money.
Yep. Right?
Or the 10-year note's going to go from 4.24 to 4.6, 4.7, something really bad, and then we're going to have a big problem. Now, they don't tell you this. They don't want you to know this. It's just normal. We just had a little liquidity problem. That's all. It was temporary. We just had a liquidity problem for a couple of days. When I ask you, what do you think the liquidity is going to look like when the Treasury now has to pay back all the money they took out of the pensions, all the money that they weren't paying into Social Security or the whatever it may, however they quote unquote do their emergency measures, all that stuff's got to get paid back.
They got a plan, Joe. They have a plan that leverage ratio rate. Okay, they're going to let the big banks start loaning with way less regulations. So the repo market in October 2024 had a $2 billion problem. If you look at the chart, there's no problem except for 2019. When you look at that chart, 2019, right before COVID. Now, they had a problem $2 billion. That was right after they dropped the rates down 1%. They started lowering the rates, and they had the little blip there. Now they had the blip last week. So I think the idea, Joe, is with all the spending they're going to have, they're going to reduce the regulations on the big banks to lend, so that when they drop the rates, and I'm actually convinced they're going to drop the rates up to 2% in the next year. I was thinking just one. I think it's going to be 2. And when they drop the rates 2%, they don't want $11 billion or $20 billion or $100 billion in reverse repo blips happening. So they're going to let the banks have these weird, loose lending abilities.
Well, hey, you don't have to save any of your deposits.
No.
Just use it to buy treasuries.
Buy treasuries.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, what could go wrong?
What could go wrong? See, and this is the funny part that the people, we don't see it. Why? Well, look at Wall Street's at an all-time high. And, Donald Trump's a badass. Right? He's a badass. They don't realize how much more in danger your money really is. I mean, this isn't flashing yellow. This is flashing red.
Yep.
And I don't know, when does it happen? I'm starting to feel like 2027 is going to be a very horrible time. Because Medicare and Medicaid need a crap load of money. Even this quote-unquote cutting, right, that they did in the big, beautiful bill. Do you know that they're going to spend 20% more on Medicare and Medicaid over the next 10 years? Right? So they're actually increasing it with the cut. Here's the problem. The 20% wasn't enough. The amount that they cut plus the 20% wasn't enough, right? It's all make-believe. But what they're doing with the banks, well, you're not paying attention. It's critical. This is why I'm telling you. Right now, listen, $20, by the way, gold's now down $10, right? $33.25. $20 gold pieces, $34.25. Buy as many as you can. Don't let big dollars sit in these bank accounts, because one slip up and it happens. I mean, that's where we're at right now. Everything's got to be perfect to get to 2027. 5-ounce silver bars, $195, right? Get them. Stack them. Keep adding. $5 gold liberties, $8.90 at 800-951-0592. Listen to this. Now, Scott Bassett now saying that 100 smaller countries don't even bother contacting us. We're just going to set a tariff rate for you. So I guess the United States agrees. Because I said earlier, Jason, I'm like, we only had like 1 or 2 trade deals. How are we going to get hundreds of trade deals done between now and August 1st? Well, apparently over 100 smaller countries, Scott Bassett, the Treasury Secretary, said, hey, listen, we're just going to give you a tariff rate, and many will never even contact the United States. So there you go, Jason. So it definitely looks like more tariffs are going to be put in place. You know, the one deal we got, Vietnam, I mean, we don't sell anything to Vietnam. I mean, literally almost nothing. But what do I know? You know what? Don't do it. I don't care. Get wiped out again like you did in the financial crisis. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. We'll be back. 800-951-0592. $20 gold pieces. Liberty Saints. We don't care. 34 and a quarter. $5 gold Liberties. 890. 5-ounce silver bars, $195. And guys, gals, everyone out there that is still listening, because it's, who wants to listen? I want to enjoy my vacation that's coming up. I don't want to feel bad. The price is going so much higher. Because they've just, they've done the Spaceballs, right? We're in ludicrous speed. That's where we are. Just spend it. Even the cuts. Do you know that the overtime and the tips, do you know when those expire? 2028. Conveniently. So what do you think the next guys running for president are going to be talking about? I'm just asking. Are you curious at all? You think any of them are, no, right? Because the first guy that says, I'm going to let those expire, he's going to raise taxes, right? Right. The fact that they're saying it's only going to add $3 trillion, $4 trillion, that's nonsense. It's going to add so much more to the debt than that. And Bank of America just kind of letting you know, listen, it's a bubble. 30 times earnings. 30 times. The long-term average is 8. I'll say the modern era, which they just said hell with it and let's just start spending the crap out of everything. It's like 16. Right? This is double that. Boy, it's a big bubble. Really big bubble. And now they're just playing with fire and selling the banks. Don't save any money. Just use it all to buy treasuries because someone's got to buy it. And let's hope we can fool people for a little while longer. Why do you think crypto's getting so popular right now? I don't know. I just looked at Texit now, $1.43 on Bitmart and rising. Had another. By the way, we're going to be at 9,000 miners this week. 9,000. We went from 3,000 to 9,000 in like 8 weeks. Are we going to go, 27, 30, 40,000 in the next 8 weeks? Probably. Are you going to realize, okay, number one, I need to protect what I've already earned. Number two, man, I better find something that I can make a big lick on. Because you think it's expensive to live in this country now. Just wait a couple of years. We're in the calm before the storm. Right? Because the government was tied up. Think about this. The government couldn't do anything this year. It was in emergency measures the whole time. Emergency measures are over. And now Trump and Johnson said, listen, the big beautiful, that was just a start. Oh, no. We got a lot more coming. We got the bazookas ready to go. And I'm telling you, again, and Jason and I both would say, listen, we don't know. There's risk here. Of course there is. $995 gets you a seat at the table. You can buy 9 seats. That's it. It's all they allow to be bought. Why? because they don't want the big banks in it. This is, it's one of those things this is money for the average guys out there. We want to take it back, take in the power back. Will it work? I don't know.
I told Joe this morning that there's a very likely chance that this is going to be the most well-placed investment that we could have done. With everything that's going on, and Joe and I are always looking at every angle, how to sell more gold, how to keep the radio station doing well. We're always looking at opportunities. The timing of this, if you don't get in 2025, you're just I haven't been pushing the FOMO, but you may not want to miss out on this one. Joe and I want to be cautious because we don't want to be holding the bag if it goes bad and say, hey, it's all our fault and we tempted you into something you shouldn't have done. We win, you win. We lose, you lose. But it's the same, investment total. 9,000 is the most you can get in, and the timing of it, Joe, it just might be the most lights out timed investment that you can make right now. That as far as Joe and Jason's limited world of investment of what we know to be a good opportunity, I want to stay calm with the optimism because I'm more of a cup half empty kind of guy, but it really has the potential to be a huge, huge impact on your finances if you get into this, Joe.
I'm just going to say this. Get ready for the next move higher. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's coming very, very, very quickly. Get in while you can. If you want to trade gold and silver to do it, you can do that. If you want to put it on a credit card, you can do that. If you want to write a check, you can do that. If you want to pay in cash, you can do that. If you want to pay in crypto, you can do that. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour, final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. Final segment on this Monday. By the way, apparently noon today, we're going to get who got the letter and I guess who's not getting the letters for the tariff. So we'll keep our eyes out for that. $20 gold pieces. 34.25 Liberties or Saints, $5 Liberties, $8.90. 5-ounce silver bars, $1.95 at 800-951-0592. We've got a big Texit meeting Wednesday at the radio station. This is in Colorado, 6 o'clock. And this is going to be how to have your accounts, your crypto account set up, how to buy and sell your cryptos, right? How to, hey, eventually when I want to turn my Texit into money, how does that work?
And how to sign people up as well.
We will have the exact same meeting in Phoenix on the 16th. Based on the people, it's going to be very well attended. It is going to be at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock on the 16th for Phoenix. I will have the exact location for you this week. We just wanted to see how big of a space we're going to need, and it's a bigger space than I thought. So, but 4 o'clock on the 16th in Phoenix, I am just get your people signed up. You get signed up beforehand so you can come to these meetings and already have an idea of what is already going on. And remember, right now, if you buy 5 seats at $995 a piece, they'll give you a 6th seat for free. If you buy 9 seats, which is $8,955, which is the maximum you can buy, you will get 2 seats for free. I want people to know this as well. If you sign up, even if you just buy 1 seat at $995, you have 30 days that you can upgrade and still get the bonuses. After that, you can upgrade at any time, but you just don't get the bonuses, right? So if you decided, let's say you signed up today, and 3 months from now you're like, oh, I just got some more money. Hey, I'm going to buy 2 more seats or 4 more seats. Great, they'll allow you to do that. You just don't get the free seats that come with it. But if you invest in that first 30 days, you can upgrade and still get those bonus seats at any time in the first 30 days. And like I said, this is something where, April, like 25th, 26th is when I think Jason and Mike Morris hit me with this. It was 46 cents. I literally signed up the next day. And it takes 24 to 48 hours to get it completed. But by the time I got it completed, it was 55 cents. Right? 8 weeks, and now it's $1.43. And I'm telling you, get ready. The next leg forward's coming. They're talking about $16 by February. By the way, they just put something out. The average person is getting their money back in 74 days. They tell you 180. But because the price keeps moving, it's been 74 days. Incredible. Patriot Radio News Hour. God bless everybody. Jason